Good day, everyone. Today's video is going to be the first of a new playlist, mostly going through different data sets I find interesting beyond just simply crime data. The one you see in front of you, I've talked about and kind of used in class before, but it's the CDC places data. A lot of health data at the adult level across different spatial units of analysis. You can kind of see how it's described in front of you at county, place, tract, and zip code level. Originally started and was brought to my attention years ago when it was the 500 city study. So 500 cities in the US, they had health data attached to it at the tract level. Loved it, thought it was fascinating work there. And since then they've expanded it. Really cool data set to work with now. Interactive map makes life easier if you just want to explore what it's looking at. And you can see across the top some of the different health outcomes here, behaviors you want to look at. We have health outcomes, prevention, risky behaviors, health status. You have all different options up here, and you can also download this data, and that's what we'll cover today, of how to go through and essentially filter out some and pull a smaller set that you can view then in Excel. So let's go ahead and look at, let's say, health and risky behaviors, and let's do binge drinking. So as we're zoomed out, this is showing you at the county level, just about over 3,200 counties, and you can see down here we're powered by Esri, Arc Online. As we zoom in, let's say to focus on Arkansas, given where I'm at now, we can see still county level. And as you kind of saw, as I go in closer, it's going to change the unit of analysis. So if I come over here to my layers, it's showing me at what levels this will be displayed at. So right now we have places. And if I can turn on zip codes, it'll actually turn on zip codes now. So anytime you see that X'd out or lined out, it's not going to show the layer, but I'm going to focus in on Little Rock. You can see the outline of our places. And as I continue to zoom in, I'll turn off the zip code. You can see these are tracks within Little Rock. I'm familiar with this, so you can see here. If you ever are confused about the color gradation to this, if you just click on the legend, it's going to be our darker colors are the more prevalent it is. This is across outcomes, so typically the darker it is, the more prevalent it is. So you can see where drinking is more prevalent. If we wanted to change to currently smoking, it's going to zoom out, then zoom back into where you were. So you can almost see here that smoking and drinking had different neighborhood effects of where it's more common. Keep in mind, this is adult population. Physical activity, we can see where that's high as well too. So at visual inspection, we know that currently smoking neighborhoods are high also with physical inactivity. It's a pretty cool visualization tool for the data itself. If you didn't want to get into it, download it, you just wanted to generally look, nice one-stop shop for that. To supplement this, they also have the same data that you can pull in here. It brings up some charts for you and adds it over time and some metrics to it that you can work with just as easily within that. Pretty handy, and I'll link to the places data in the video. But not surprisingly, given the video, and I like to show the kind of the how-to in Excel for this, you can download the data at multiple units of analysis, be it county or tract or zip code, even our health data down here at the place level. So we have rich data that we can go ahead and download. It's publicly available. With that, you could go straight into a GIS program like ArcPro, open this up, and you're good to go. If you're not comfortable there, you're not there, that's kind of the point of this video, is to show how to filter this online, pull it out or extract it, and then open it up in Excel to map it in there. People tend to be a bit easier, more comfortable with a program that they've seen or at least heard of, so Excel's a nice starting point for some of this. Before we do that, I want to get into actually viewing the data, and we're going to put on some filters to make our life easier. Because if you see now, we just have under 1 million rows of data. So Excel would have a tough time with this large of a data set. With that, we don't need everything that's in it. We're going to create a smaller file that's much more manageable for us to look at. With that, we're going to do a couple basic filters to make our life easier. And to do that, I'm fine with this view. If you've had me in class, I've oftentimes done the grid view and you have your filters over here. But for our purposes, let's go through a new one to walk you through this step. It's a similar process. This one I like a bit more. With that, if we want to select a column that we want to filter on, so let's say let's just focus on 2020. There's a couple years in here. With that, that could be for just missing data, that kind of thing. We'll deal with that at another point. But let's start with year. We want to is one of, and it will bring up your options. I'm going to say 2020. I want to add, and I'll hit apply here so you can see this kind of go down. So now we're just under 900,000. I want another statement to this. So yes, I want 2020, but I want to focus on a specific category of the data. So we have the category, and it's going to generate these as same ones that we saw on the map. Let's focus on one of our health outcomes. I'm going to hit apply again, and we see now we're just around 350,000. But within our health outcomes, we also have different measures within this that we could further create a subset of data that we're working with. So I'm going to now add a measure filter and focus on, let's do coronary heart disease among adults 18 years and older. Hit apply, and now we see we have a subset of 32,000. So we have a smaller data set that's going to be easier to work with in Excel. We're still going to get our confidence intervals, the percentage of where the crude rate is. The cool part is it pops in population for you as well. So we have the data that we're interested in now downloading and just viewing on a map, but working with it in Excel versus anywhere else. So to do that, we have the export tab. We can go up here, go ahead and hit our download. I should have changed that for CSV for Excel, but it's fine there. I'm going to do, and I don't have I'll keep it in my spatial folder, ZCTA, health, heart disease. Open this straight up into Excel. And let's see what this looks like now. So I'm going to just space everything out so we can see what we're looking at. It's similar to the table that we're looking at. We have our year, location name, and this is our zip code. So if you want to change this, you can change it to zip code here. And we have our measure, the type of value unit. It's a percentage. The actual value here for the coronary heart disease is our percentage. The lower and upper confidence intervals or limits to them. Our geolocation, so that looks likely the centroid for each zip code, the population for the zip code, what the measure was, the states, the counties that we're working in. It's all really rich information that we want to use. So with this, you're then wondering, well, can Excel just take the zip code and map it? And we'll walk through and we'll show that. Or sometimes you need to get a shapefile to help with that. I'm going to just grab this name and paste it up here and change it, heart disease, adult percentage, just so we know what we're working with here. But I visually want to see what this looks like. And if you're familiar with Excel, you can go into, and this is across PC to Mac, you have a mapping tool up here. So I'm going to highlight a couple rows here. Actually, I'm just going to copy and insert this next to what I want to make life a bit easier. So Control Shift, oops, I didn't want to go that far. Highlight these two, Control Shift down arrow. So I'm just highlighting these two columns. I'm going to come up to maps. I'm going to see if this will do a filled map based on the zip code itself. Looks like it's struggling to find the actual zip code. It's worked for county before. That's probably the smallest unit of analysis that you'll be able to get away with. With that though, you have valuable information in here that you want to still visually see, and Excel can do that. This is where the PC side, and you'll see it up here when I delete that, you have a 3D mapping option, and this is where you can still use Excel to your benefit. With that, I already have it open for the US Census. We have our shapefiles, and I want to just have the boundary file for zip codes in the US. So to do that, I'm in 2022. I prefer right now web interface just to walk through it. And I'm interested in our zip code tabulation areas. Hit submit, and it's going to download the national file for this. It's in my spatial folder. I'm good with that. I'm going to hop over to that folder, courses, spatial, and I'm just unzipping or extracting my zip code tabulations. You can see it's just now finishing up. So right click, extract all, and you can't see this right now. But with that, I'll pull it over so you can see it. This is what it looks like when it's extracted. If I were to open the DBF, and you can open a DBF, it's not letting me do that, so I'll open Excel in Excel, and I'll walk you through what this file has in it. So find our zip code tabulation, and I'm actually interested in the DBase file. I'm not going to change anything in it. It's more so you can see what we're working with. So here we actually have the zip code tabulation. This is our ZCTA, and it's going to end up matching our zip code here. So we need to tell Excel we want to use our spatial file, our boundary file that we downloaded from the US Census, as a custom region. It has a custom lat and longitude. You can see the interpolation right here as it's listed. It's World Geographic System, probably the 1984, but these are a unique identifier with the ZCTA that's in our boundary file in the DBF, and then in our health data, we also have a corresponding zip code that this can match to. So essentially we want to join these together, take the data that's in our health data and put it in a map or the spatial file that's here that we just downloaded from the US Census. So to do that, I'm not going to save it. We're going to come into, if you ever see this grayed out, it's because it's still a CSV. I'm going to save this as a workbook. And now that I changed it to a workbook from a CSV, I'll have the ability to use this 3D map. Going to open it, and this is where you have to walk Excel through how to join these together. If you're familiar with ArcPro, same mindset of what you're trying to match together, you just need to go and do it. I'm pulling over my map. As you can see, it identified the zip code, but you can see it matched it based on a postal code itself. Not as helpful as we want for our purposes today. So to get around this, we actually want to, I'm going to exit that so nothing's displayed. I always turn on flat and map labels. We want to bring in a custom region. So here it's asking you, what do you want to import? That's the zip code one we just downloaded. So you just have to direct your computer to that. And it's asking for that shapefile one. So desktop, this was in my courses, my spatial one, and this is the file here. And you just need to click and add this in. I open the DBF so you're aware of what we want to match it on. Because it's going to bring this in, it's going to read it, and it's going to ask you now, what is the custom or unique identifier within this file that you want to match your underlying spreadsheet to. Given this is a larger file, there are about 32,000 zip codes in it. Give it a second to load up. I'm going to hit pause just so I don't waste your time. All right, that took a couple minutes, but we're where we need to be. With that, we need to pick a region name, and this is where we want to specify we want the zip code identifier. And you can see now that I changed this pick region to the specific ZCTA, zip code tabulation area. We have 33,791. We want to import it this way. So now we have this file in the background, and we need to tell Excel we want to match it based on this in our location field. So we're going to add our zip code, and now it's asking, okay, so you brought these in, what do you want to match it on? We want to specify it's our custom region. It's defaulting to postal code. We want to use that one we just brought in. And now you can see we have a bunch of points on here that are filled up and don't look quite right. It's bringing it in as that stat column. Come over here and change it to our custom region. And now you're going to see this start to fill in. You can see as we zoom in what all these zip codes look like across each state. So a pretty intensive data set. Think in mind, this is about 34,000 zip codes across the United States that we're matching. So as this finishes loading, I'll give it a second to load. If you're not familiar with this mapping feature in Excel, you have options up here if you want to change the color scheme as well. Some pretty cool handy tools built in. I'll do future videos on how to specifically use ArcGIS's add-in in Excel, but for now we're good here. Make note though, and this is where it's important to see, we have 92% to where we couldn't find some of them. My guess is it's going to be outside of the contiguous or the continental. Now we got some in Alaska. So we have some that's essentially saying it could not map or reference. It had 4 digits, which makes me wonder if there's a leading 0 missing somewhere, but we don't have some of the US territories it looks like at quick glance. But with that, let's get back into mapping our data in front of us. I'm going to zoom in so we can see it a bit easier. I'm going to go towards Arkansas. There we go. Keep in mind I kicked out some of the 2019. You can see some of the parks area in here, so that's why it's kicked out. But right now it's just showing you the area. You want to specify what category, and that's our heart disease percentage, the prevalence percentage. And here's where you can see the changes on that across the United States. And you have layer options to change the how much you can see through, almost the transparency side to it, the color scale, how dark it gets to it. You have control over what this looks like. So as we zoom out, it's not a great one to see across, but you can see we have changes within it. So if you were to click on zip code 72058, you can see 6.2, 8.2, and there are slight differences there. It's just hard to see all of it given how many spatial units were shown in front of you. But it is a nice way, and you can change the color here. So if you want red, you can see some of those specific color changes. You can always go back to your normal one. Yellow doesn't look nearly as good as we were playing around with, but this is a way to at least visually see what this looks like across. The one thing I don't like about zip code, and it's nothing against it, I would prefer smaller data sets like the county levels where you can select out by state, but this is a way to bring it into Excel, make a similar map as you zoom in and out. You don't pick up on as much color variation as you do in the online map that we were working with. To remind you, this map's a bit more, it changes the color palette to where it goes from a dark purple to the lighter one here you can see, and it's more reflective and easier to see with that. Not saying Excel is terrible, this is a first step, so it's really still getting into what this looks like across the state or the United States as a whole. And the outline colors I'm not a huge fan of myself, just given it eats into the red area itself, and as you zoom out you can see kind of the white area to it. But at least a good place to start. You can always change it if you want to get a little crazy with it and change the bar height based on the percentage, so you do have variation of where high regions are, and you can kind of zoom around to see where those are. It looks like we're in Chicago right now, and yes we are. But one easy example of how to bring some of this data into Excel, look at it across the United States. This is at the zip code level, so I would recommend if you're trying to get state specific, county, place level, or even tract, and doing the FIPS command to pull out specific county or city from within that, or state I should say. With that, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out.